Decided to go live.
As well, that's keeping tropical development low for us. Plus, the heat dome that keeps things very hot and very dry. Highs creeping into the upper 90s. Small chances for rain potentially as we look ahead to next week.
I'm trying to do, I'm trying to stream.
Some former local high school football stars are getting back to help the next generation on the field.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm streaming. Let's see. Finna get ready to watch the UFC, but we streaming. What's up, chat? What's going on with y'all?
The capability to handle what life throws your way.
What's going on?
The GMC Sierra, leading where it matters most. GMC Sierra.
Hope y'all having a great Sunday. No, Saturday. So what's up? Y'all let me know what's going on.
Too many Texans feel like they're drowning. The cost of groceries.
I'm communicating with everybody that come through.
In the State House, I brought both parties together.
I need to change that background to a little bit better, but we're gonna rock with it with how we rock with it. Yeah.
In Texas history. In the Senate, I'll take
So what's up?
To lower your costs. I approve this message because it shouldn't be this hard to keep your head above water.
What's up? As you come in, please hit that like button and drop a comment. Hit that like button, drop a comment. Hit that like button and drop a comment. As you come in. Hit that like button, drop a comment. What's up, Mr. Stop? What's going on, Jonathan Davis? Appreciate you for coming through, rocking with me. On this Saturday today, we got the UFC going on. Third place in the World Cup. England got third place. That's a wrap. So right now, we're just waiting on the UFC main event to come on. But yes, a lot going on, chat. The war with Iran is cranked up. Donald Trump is hollering about election fraud to try to postpone the midterm elections because how it's going right now with this war, there's no way the Republicans are going to win the midterm elections. You know what I'm saying? So Donald Trump, they're coming up with this election fraud. They try to postpone, these midterm elections. So it's a lot going on in America. It's a lot going on in the world. It's a lot going on, a lot of distractions, in 2026. And the distractions are going to get worse and worse. What's going on? What? Oh, how are you feeling today, man? What's going down? It's all good. I'm feeling really, really lovely. A good rest day. UFC is on. I wait for 8 o'clock to get here. Well, 7, so we can turn it on to UFC, and we can get entertained a little bit. UFC is my entertainment. UFC, football, basketball, athletics is my entertainment. A little bit of movies, right? So, your chat, they want us to be really, really, really infatuated with entertainment. Entertainment is great, but you want to be educated. You want to have a steady plan going. You don't want too many distractions. And right now, and it's going to get worse, right? The world is being distracted. The world is being distracted from what's really going on in life. All this Donald Trump stuff, all this war stuff, etc., etc., etc. It's a big, big distraction. And guess what? If we are not laser focused, appreciate you for hitting the like button. If we are not laser focused on the things that really matter, we will be lost in the sauce. Because I've been saying this. It is a wealth transfer happening right now. And the blind gonna be blinded to the wealth transfer. I gotta say this so much because I don't want, particularly the people that watch this channel, the people that come across, me. I want to put a strong message out about distractions, about attention. They want us paying attention to the things that don't matter. You got to really understand this. With all this that's going on, everything is a big wealth transfer. Well, whatever you think, whatever you can consume in your mind, it is a transfer of wealth. Whether it's content creation, a lot of these content creators understanding how to play on our mind. They understand that we have been programmed. Listen to the Stock Sniper, listen to the OG. We have been programmed to really pay attention to the things that don't even matter. Hey, what's up, ATM Tim? We have been programmed to pay attention to the things that don't really matter. We got to understand that this is a crucial time in America. You know, they don't want us educating ourselves. They don't want that. So they're going to use the internet and everything to throw us off. They want us worried about the things that don't matter. It's simple, but then it's hard at the same time. That's why I got to talk about this more and more and more. As I peep and I understand the play, I have to kick it and I have to bring it to the people. And as y'all come here and watch and rock with me, you have to also not only identify it, but you have to also spread the news. You have to spread the word, right? All this stuff, it's a big wealth transfer, right? It's a big wealth transfer. That's all it is. Whatever level you want to put it on, it's a big wealth transfer. Streaming and consuming content, it's a wealth transfer. You know what I'm saying? Because you notice these streamers are doing things that are out of the ordinary to get us to pay attention. Because guess what? What I have learned in my 52 years of being on this earth, as the flesh, we are attracted to bullshit and bubblegum because we human and we react out of the flesh. We don't react out of the spirit. We react out of the flesh. That's why it's so easy for us to get attracted to negativity. It's so easy for us to get attracted to doing the wrong things. Those things that I got listed up here, right there. It's so easy for us to get attracted to the liquor. It's so easy for us to get attracted to the cigarettes. It's so easy for us to get attracted to drugs. It's so easy to get us to get attracted to the club. It's so easy for us to get attracted to tricking off on women. It's so easy for us to get attracted to the things that will hurt us. It's so easy to get attracted to those things, Chad. And once we get attracted to those things, guess what? It's now in 2026, I'm gonna say this. If you are attracted to liquor, if you are attracted to cigarettes, if you are attracted to drugs, or if you are attracted to going to the club and trick, you know what I'm saying, going to the club like a lot of people like to do. If you are attracted to tricking off on women, which is right there, guess what? In 2026, it's damn near impossible to make a 360 and move into the right direction. Meanwhile, while all these things right here is going on, it's a wealth transfer going on. 2 U.S. soldiers killed today, bro. It's about to get real. Yeah, it's about to get real. That's why we have to pay attention to what's really going on. See, the thing is, even though Iran and death to America is a real issue, guess what? Donald Trump is only in this for the wealth. The things that he's doing right now we in war. We not in war. We back in war. We not in war. All it is a big wealth transfer that's going on. Donald Trump really don't give a damn about nothing but wealth and the stock market. That's all he care about is wealth in the stock market. He don't care if you are not invested into the stock market, if you are not participating in your company's 401k plan, you do not fit in the Donald Trump plan. You absolutely don't. And my opinion, my conclusion is what I'm coming to is that we got to care about the people, right? We got to educate the people, and the people got to understand. You can't act like a lot of us have a problem with can't nobody tell you nothing. That's one of the biggest problems with a lot of people, specifically in the black community. A lot of young blacks have a problem with listening and comprehending. They stuck in their ways and can't nobody tell them nothing. Young and old. It goes both ways, young and old. So we have to really pay attention and put the word out there on what's really, really, really going on. The next 15, 20 years, Chad, if you are not investing, if you're not educating your family and your kids about investing, about finding something that they love to do and get a skill that you love, and like this saying, stack money and act broke, which is one of the main priorities. Right now, we should be stacking money and acting broke. That's the other side of this flyer that y'all don't see. The main component is we must be stacking money and acting broke, meaning that we should be spending as less money as possible. If you don't own your house outright in 2026, if you don't own your place of living outright in 2026, you need to be acting broke. Our goal, one of your main goals, should be your place of living need to be free. Your place of living need to be paid for. Because guess what, Chad? These prices of rent, these prices are going to go up and up and up and up and up. And guess what's not going up with the prices of living going up? Guess what's not going up? Wages. Unless you got a high income skill. That's why it's very important that if you're watching this video, you have to develop a high income earning skill. Nursing, lawyer, doctor, electrician, plumber, mechanic. You have to learn a high income earning skill. And not only do you have to work a job, a 9 to 5, where you can earn an hourly wage, but you also have to find a way to find your own customers outside of that 9 to 5. That's called an independent contractor. Start your own business. While you working at 9 to 5 as a plumber, as a barber, as a electrician, as a mechanic, you have to get you some customers outside of the regular 9 to 5. It's called starting a small business. We have to get more in tune with even truck driving. You have to get into the mindset of independence. Work the 9 to 5, but also invest in your independent. A lot of people like to say side hustle, but I don't call it a side hustle. Because to me, a hustle is when somebody win and somebody lose. I'm not talking about a side hustle. I'm talking about a side business. That's what I'm talking about. That's where you're going to get the most tax benefits and you're going to get the most income, because wages are not going up, Chad. They're not. And it's going to get worse and worse if all you do is work a regular 9 to 5. It's going to get worse, right? Because there's a wealth transfer going on. We got to pay attention. It's a wealth transfer going on, and you got to get involved in the wealth transfer. Whatever level you own in this wealth transfer, you have to get in the game. Whether it's a 401k plan on your job, if you've been working on the job 2 years, 3 years, and they offer benefits, you have to take the benefits. A lot of people that I know, Chad, they don't take the benefits because they feel like they need the money. Those days are over with. Where you make the decision, well, I don't want to invest in the company 401k plan. I'd rather keep the money. Well, invest in that company 401k plan, but then find another stream of income. One of the easiest ways, Chad, that anybody can start an extra income is transportation. The easiest way, start driving Uber, start driving DoorDash, whatever the case may be. Easy work. If you're working a 9 to 5, a good side business is a driver. Easy. And if you working a 9 to 5 and you transition to becoming a business owner, which if you drive Uber or DoorDash or whatever, you are a business owner. You are a business now. You just use DoorDash and Uber as business partners. You know, DoorDash and Uber has the customers. And, you know, they connect the drivers with the customers. But if you work a 9 to 5 and you bridge something very, very simple as become a DoorDash driver, you can use that to build wealth. Not use the DoorDash and the Uber money to pay bills, but use the DoorDash and Uber money as an example to invest in the companies that we know, like, and trust. Start investing. Because the people that are going to get ahead in this economy are going to be people that are investing. Not only working a 9 to 5, but they're stacking money, acting broke. They're working a 9 to 5, and they are investing. And they're not only investing, but they're doing what, Stock Sniper? They're teaching it to their kids and grandkids. And that's what matters. We got to understand that. And one thing we got to do, Chad, take it from the OG. We have to stop being so much entertained. That's one of the biggest sheep that they're putting over our eyes. They want us to be entertained. One thing about entertainment, if you're being entertained all day long, you're going to slip in other areas of your life. And guess what? With AI, shit is accelerating at a high speed and a high rate. Some people are going to miss the boat. Why, Stock Sniper? Some people are going to be so entertained. Some people are going to be so drunk on the bullshit and the bubble gum. So some people are going to be so entertained by negativity. Some people are going to be so entertained by mess and gossip. So many people are going to be entertained by the shit that don't even matter. By the time they wake up, it's going to be robots all around. It's going to be robots that's running the show. And those people are going to be so behind that they're going to be stuck inside of the third world country. A lot of people say America is turning into a third world country. It's already happening by the training of people's minds. Like I'm saying right now, there's going to be a lot of people, chat. They're going to be so consumed with entertainment that by the time they wake up, they're going to miss the whole boat. Take it from the OG. They're trying to use entertainment on a high level to distract us from what's really going on. Well, what's really going on, Stock Sniper? The wealth transfer is going on right now. Some of y'all that's been on my channel for years and years and years, I always pull up the economy. I always pull it up. I always show that. All I can do is lead y'all to the water. That's all I can do. It's up to you to get laser focused. It's up to you to stack money and act broke. It's up to you to do that. It's up to you to stack money and act broke. What does stack money and act broke look like, Stock Sniper? Spend as less money as possible. Spend as less money as possible. And act like you ain't got no money. But on the flip side, you stacking. You stacking. Because guess what? Donald Trump ain't spending no money. Elon Musk ain't spending no money. Mark Zuckerberg ain't spending no money. Jeff Bezos ain't spending no money. And for all you dudes that love Jay-Z, he ain't spending no money. Master P ain't spending no money. Baby ain't spending no money. Lil Wayne ain't spending no money. Stock Sniper TV ain't spending no money. We gotta wake up. Do you want to be a consumer or do you want to be an investor? All these things that I lined up right there. Liquor, Jordans is at the top. Lifestyle, designer clothes. Jordans is at the top. That goes with designer clothes. Liquor is right there. Cigarettes, vapes, drugs, pills, weed, tricking on hoes. All that is why 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. It's all about a mind shift. And it's all about stack money, act broke. Stack your money, act broke. I don't care where this terminology, I don't care if you're working at Jack in the Box. I don't care if you're working at Popeyes. I don't care if you're making $2,000 a month. If you're making $2,000 a month and you keeping $1,750 out of it, because we're going to spend something, but if you keeping 90% of the money and you do that a year, you do that 2 years, I don't have to do the numbers. I did the numbers on live before. It's all about a mindset. We gotta wake up. That has nothing to do with an investment at all. It don't have nothing to do with an investment. If you make $2,000 a month and you work at Popeyes, all you gotta do, some people, like I got a friend chat that's been working at Popeyes for 25 years. She loves Popeyes. She loves making chicken. She loves the taste of chicken. But guess what? She loved that job, right? So she works there and she understands about investing. She's invested into Popeyes 401k plan. She's invested into stocks. So on that end, she's straight. She loved Popeyes chicken. She loved going to Popeyes every day and frying chicken. And she loved it. And guess what? But she is financially free. So you can make $2,000 a month. Stack money, act broke. In this example, y'all about to break it down now. In this example, if you work at McDonald's, if you work at Popeyes, and you make $2,000 a month, and you have minimum to no bills, right? You're going to spend something because you got a phone, you got your hygiene and stuff like that. So if you make $2,000 a month, and I'm just throwing these numbers out there, you make $2,000 a month, and you say, you know what? You make a conscious decision, discipline, consistency. I'm not spending no more than $500 a month. We're going to make it even because you know I'm about numbers. $1,500 a month. You make $2,000 a month. And I'm not even talking about investing. And you save $1,500 a month consistently every month. 1,000 multiplied by 12, that's 12,000. 500 multiplied by 12, that's 6,000. So with this analogy, if you stack money, act broke, you ain't got no habits, and you are disciplined, and you consistent, I don't care if you work at McDonald's or Jack in the Box. If you say I make $2,000 a month, and I'm not spending no more than $500 a month. In other words, once I spend $500, I'm broke. But I got $1,500. You do that for 1 year, you got $18,000. 1 year, $18,000. Well, let's say you work at McDonald's or Jack in the Box, and consistently you do that every single year. You stay disciplined, and you stay consistent. What's 18 multiplied by 12? No, 18 multiplied by 5 in this example. You consistently make $2,000 a month, and you consistently saying, I'm not going to spend no more than $500. No matter what. Once I get to 500, I'm broke. But you know you're not broke, but you got the $1,500. A lot of people can learn from this right now. It's all about, it ain't even really about learning. It's about consistency, not being distracted. You right? That's what it's about. So anybody can do this. You can take your calculator right now. You could say, I make $2,000 a month. It's all about planning, strategizing, and putting the plan together. See, when you're not worrying about bullshit and you're not worried about things that really don't matter, you can focus on things that really does matter, which is your finances, right? I don't care if you, in this example, you work at Jack in the Box, you work at Popeyes, you make $2,000 a month. You say, well, you know what? Out of this 2,000, I'm not spending no more than 500. So you got 1,500 left over that you're not going to touch no matter what. Multiply by 12, that's 18,000, right? That's 18,000. Most people that I talk to, chat, never seen 18,000 in a bank account. I've talked to people that call my phone, because my phone number is in the description. People that call my phone and holler at me. 8 out of 10 of these people never seen $18,000 in a bank account. And it's not that they don't make the money. It's about this right here. When I talk to them and I be like, where do you work at? And they break the numbers down. Well, your thing is you're not consistent and you're not disciplined. You're not disciplined. So we have to get you to be disciplined. We have to get you out of the world. In other words, you have to be a little boring. Yeah, in order to create wealth, chat, you have to be boring for a while. Sometimes you got to be boring for 10 years. You know, sometimes you got to be like that unless you upgrade your education. But it's all about stacking money, acting broke in 2026. So 2,000 a month that this Jack in the Box worker make, this Popeyes worker make, this McDonald's worker make. All I make is $2,000 a month. Well, you can't go to the club. You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't smoke vapes. You can't pop pills. You can't buy liquor. You can't buy beer. You can't go to the corner store every weekend. Every day. You just can't. You can't afford it. So once your $500 is gone and all you got is $1,500, you're broke. I can't spend nothing on nothing else. I can't spend no money on nothing else unless I add another income. But if you don't add another income and you just stuck with this $1,500 a month, well, if you do that every month for a year, you got 18,000. Well, okay, let's stretch a little bit further. You do it a whole nother year. You multiply that. You multiply that by 2. I did good this year. You know, from January to December, I work at Jack in the Box, and I was really, really, really disciplined, and I made sure that I kept the $1,500 every single month. Well, at the end of the year, of the first year, you got 36,000. No, you got 18,000. That's 1 year, my bad. At the end of the first year, if you keep $1,500 out of a $2,000 check, you got 18,000. That ain't even got nothing to do with investing. I'm not even talking about buying this. I'm not even talking about investments. This is pure savings, staying disciplined, stacking money, acting broke. not drinking, not smoking vapes, not smoking cigarettes, not buying drugs, not tricking off on hoes at the club, etc., etc., etc. You're able on minimum wage, and you say, well, you know what? You got to buy your hygiene, right? I make $2,000 a month. I'm not spending no more than $500. I got $1,500. Next month, another $1,500. All the way from January to the next January. Well, when January comes, majority of people, you got income tax. Don't go when you get your income tax, you got $18,000 and you get an income tax because you got kids. Don't go to one of these rinky-dink car places and get a car note. Nah, don't do that. Keep that income tax with the $18,000 because you on the come up, and repeat the process. Do it another year. It's called being consistent. It's called stacking money, acting broke. That's what it's called. Discipline and consistency. Most people, 8 out of 10 people, have a problem with being consistent and discipline. Those are the two main reasons why 70 or 80% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. It's about consistency and discipline. Discipline and consistency. If you consistently being disciplined for a year, you got on a minimum wage, you got $18,000. That's called an emergency fund. Once you got an emergency fund, $18,000. You start the process all over again until you come up with your number where you feel comfortable. Let's take it a step further. You do that not just 1 year. You don't do that 2 years. If you do that for 2 years straight, that $18,000 turns into $36,000. Very simple, but hard at the same time. Because like I say, listen to the OG. Most people have a hard time with discipline. And the reason why it's like that, chat, is because they're training us. They're training us. Why our attention span will be this short. It takes a lot of attention. You have to pay a lot of attention to your finances to work on what I just told that I'm telling y'all right now. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of consistency and patience. It takes discipline, consistency, and patience. Not being distracted. Not easily being influenced by the wrong people. The people that we hang around with can throw you off of those three things. Discipline, consistency, it takes the people that you hang around, who you married to. If you ain't married, who your spouse is. Everybody has to be on the same page. Because guess what? If you're in a relationship and your spouse is not equally yoked with you, equally yoked, that's why it's also very important who you are connected to. It's very, very important. It's very important. Just imagine if you have that mindset and the person you rock with, y'all are equally yoked, and both of y'all think the same way. Guess what? Those numbers double. On a low scale, if you with somebody and somebody in your circle is on the same page, have the same thoughts, stack money, act broke, stay away from all these things. If I make 2,000, I'm gonna put 1,500 away. I'm only gonna spend 500. Both people are doing it, and y'all put everything together. It's easy to put things together when both of y'all are on the same page. So in this small example, if you make 2,000 and the person you with make 2,000 and all y'all spend is $1,000 a month, y'all keep the 3,000. Guess what? That 1,800, not only took that 18,000 in 1 year, and both of y'all are equally yoked, that 18,000 is not 18,000, it's 36,000. It's all about decision making. We got to understand this. And it has nothing to do with it not even buying one stock. I have not even talked about the stock market. I'm talking about stack money and act broke. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's simple, but then it's hard at the same time. It's simple because everybody knows that. The hard part is being disciplined, being consistent, actually really doing it. That's the hard part. Consistency. And really doing it. It's so many times, chat, that people will sacrifice, but they sacrifice for their habits. I know so many people that act like it's stack money and act broke, but they're sacrificing their livelihood, but they spending it on other things. We all know people like that sacrifice their livelihood, but they got all these habits. They don't want to take care of their financial responsibility, but they gonna drink every day. They gonna buy Jordans. They gonna buy designer clothes. They gonna buy cigarettes. They gonna buy vapes. They gonna go to the club. They gonna trick off with them hoes. They rather do those things right there than handle responsibility. I know a lot of people that are addicted to all these things. It's people that are addicted to designer clothes. It's people those same people are addicted to liquor. The same people are addicted to vapes. The same people are addicted to cigarettes. The same people are addicted to drugs. The same people are addicted to going to the clubs. The same people are thirsty behind women. That's 7 goddamn habits. Let me say that again. There are people that are sacrificing their daily living, a roof over your head, a car, for these habits: designer clothes, liquor, vapes, cigarettes, drugs, club, being thirsty behind women and tricking off with them hoes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least 7 habits. That's not even including that I talk about all the time: buying fast food. That ain't even including going to Jack in the Box and Whataburger. That ain't even including. That's not even including eating habits, not eating healthy, not exercising. That's not even including that. That's not including a social media habit. It's not including that. A lot of people have negative social media habits. What do you mean, Stock Sniper, by negative social media habits? Well, only thing they come across their timeline is shit that don't matter, to sum it up. Anybody that got a brain understands what negative social media habits are. So that also falls up under this. Because guess what? If you on your phone all the time, and the only thing that come across your phone, the only thing that you look at is bullshit and bubblegum, that's another no. Because that messes with your mental. That messes with your subconscious mind, right along with everything else. And if you're doing that daily, some people drink liquor every day. Some people gotta have the new pair of Jordans. Some people gotta have the best tasting vape. Some people gotta have a pack of Marlboros and Newports every day. Some people gotta have 2 packs every day. Some people gotta have fentanyl every single day, the pills. Some people gotta have their weed every single day. Some people gotta have their syrup every single day. Some people gotta go to the club every single day. Some people gotta go to happy hour at Club 5150 every single day. Some people are thirsty behind women every single day. All those are the reason why most people in America, 70%, and it's probably higher than that by now, 70 or 80% of America is living upside down. 70 to 80% of America is living upside down. It's not because they don't go make an earn. Just because somebody go make an earn chat every single day don't mean that they don't fall victim to poverty. And a lot of times, America don't have an income problem. That's not the problem. Most Americans go to work every single day. America don't have an income problem. America has a spending problem. America has a mental problem. A lot of people have mental problems and act like they shit don't stink. 9 out of 10 Americans, all of us suffer from mental issues. Even Stock Sniper. I suffer from mental issues too, but guess what? Once you understand that, you can work on your problems. Everybody has a mental problem, chat. Everybody. Everybody has a mental problem. But the sooner you can recognize that, the sooner you can work on it. The sooner you can come up with solutions to exercise your mental health. And guess what? Guess what most people do to try to conquer their mental health? They buy designer clothes to try to fill the void. They drink liquor to try to cover it up. They smoke vapes to try to cover it up. They smoke cigarettes to try to cover it up. They take pills and drugs to try to cover it up. They're insecure. They go to the club and they go trick it off on women to cover it up. They make fun of people to feel good about their own insecurities. They use false entertainment, negative entertainment to cover it up, to make them feel good about themselves. But then the whole time, they not understanding that they're ruining their whole life. And then wondering why, when they get my age, they wake up one day. They wake up and realize they done wasted 20 years on this shit right here. They wake up one day and they 50 years old, and all of a sudden, two things are going to happen. Number one, they're either going to have a health scare. Majority of the time, those people get my age, Chad. They get 50, they get 40, and they have a health scare. And it scares them so much that they finally realize they wasted 20 years of their life not doing the things that I'm talking about on this live right now. They're not paying attention to that. They're paying attention on drama. They're paying attention on shit that don't even matter. Meanwhile, they're wasting day by day, year by year, decade by decade. Because guess what? One thing about this shit, once you are accustomed to all these things that I'm talking about, you lack on the things that really matter. You lack on those things. Not only for you, but you lack on these things when it comes to your kids and grandkids. You lack on your household. Instead of paying attention to all this, you could be educating your kids. You can be sitting at the family table, having a conversation with your family, like what I'm talking about right now, putting a plan together, holding your family members accountable about being disciplined. Where we going to be at in 5 years? Where we going to be at in 10 years? Where we going to be at in 15 years? How we can put a proper plan together. I don't give a damn if we all work at Jack in the Box and we all make $2,000 a year. As long as we come together and we stack money and act broke, and we have a plan. I make $2,000, bro. All I can spend is $500. After that $500, I'm broke. I'm broke. And guess what? After that year, you have $18,000. Then you can have time. Okay, this $18,000, that's in my emergency fund. It's called staying consistent. That's in my emergency fund. Now what I want to do, educate myself. Educate yourself on how to have that work for you. Because you never know what might happen. But if you're already prepared, and anything can happen, but if you already prepared from day one and you stacking money and acting broke, you got 5 years to work with, and then boom, a health scare, right? A real financial situation pop up. Well, if a real financial situation pop up, you've already what I call stay ready, keep from getting ready. I'm going to prepare myself just in case something happens. I'm talking to somebody out there. Somebody is flat broke right now. Somebody is living paycheck to paycheck right now. Somebody is spending more than what they're making. Some people are spending, somebody out there who I'm talking to right now, you might make $4,000 a month. You might make $3,000 a month. You might make $10,000 a month. But guess what? Out of the $10,000 you making it every single month, you spending $8,000. It's all because your mind is not disciplined. If you make $10,000 a month, you shouldn't be spending no more than $2,500. If you make it $10,000 a month, you shouldn't be spending no more than $2,500. If you make it $10,000 a month, look, you gotta have a gauge. After this 2,500, I'm not spending no more money. I got $7,500 to work with. So it's not about how much money you make. Pay attention. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. That's what it's about. I don't care what you do for a living. If your mindset is not stack money, act broke, you can make $10,000 a month. If you spending $8,000 a month and you make 10, it's a mind thing. That's why I say it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. I know people that work at Popeyes that's more well off than some of the people that I know that make $100,000 a year. It's people that I know that work at Popeyes that make more money than somebody that work a corporate job. Why, Stock Sniper? Because the person that work at Popeyes is disciplined. The person that work at the corporate job that make $100,000 a year, that make $200,000 a year, ain't disciplined with their money. They gotta have 3 car notes. They gotta live like the Joneses. They gotta have a high-ass house note. They're not working on paying off their house, paying off their car. Everybody in the house gotta have a cell phone. Everybody in the house gotta have the iPhone 17. Nobody owns a stock. Nobody owns an iPhone. Nobody owns an Apple stock, but everybody in the house, from the wife, from the husband, from the 3 kids, everybody got the iPhone 17. Everybody has the Apple tablet. Everybody has an Apple computer, but nobody owns an Apple stock. You got 3 car notes, got the house note. Everybody got a cell phone in the house. Everybody got an iPhone. None of the iPhones are paid for because you know they got it. If you get a Verizon phone, you can get the Apple phone, but they add it onto your phone bill. Nobody cashes out the car. Nobody cashes out the house. Nobody cashes out the phone. They just keep rolling out the new one. Next thing you know, they come up with the Apple 18. They turn in the Apple 17, and get the Apple. They turn in the Apple 17, get the Apple 18, and roll it over and add it onto the phone bill. 5 people in the house. Everybody got phones. Everybody got the Apple tablet. Everybody got the Apple computer, and nothing is paid for. That's how somebody that make $10,000 a month can be living paycheck to paycheck. Why, Stock Sniper? Because everybody got to live like the Joneses. Everybody have to live like the Joneses. So guess what? When something do happen in life, no savings. Yes, you work corporate America, but you got a 401k plan. So when there is an emergency, guess what they got to do? They got to sell their 401k plan. They got to cash it in, which is horrible, which is one of the worst things you can do. You've been having your 401k plan for 5 years, 10 years. You ain't been stacking money, acting broke. All of a sudden, something happened, and what you got to do? You got to cash in your 401k for the family emergency. Now you back to square one. That's what a lot of people are going through in America. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. That's what we have to understand in America. It's not about how much money you make. It's how much money you keep. Spend as less possible on bills. No habits. Everybody in the household on the same page. And why I'm stressing this is because Right now, Chad, we being distracted by a lot of different things. They want us distracted. They want us focusing on the Iran war. They want us focusing on the decision that Donald Trump made. They want us focusing on Donald Trump's crypto account. They want us focusing on basically things that don't matter. They want us focusing on the things that don't matter while you slip mentally on the things that do matter. That's why it's very, very important that you focus on the things that matter and educate yourself. Everything should be an education, not entertainment. See, that's another thing that's wrong with us, Chad. We're too focusing on entertainment and not education. Let me say that again. We are too focused on entertainment. We want to be entertained every day, all day. I've been seeing this a lot, more than ever. Everybody's talking about entertainment. I want to be entertained. I want to be entertained. But they are programmed, majority of us, to be entertained by bullshit. Bullshit is entertainment instead of education. In the next few years, Chad, people are going to be people's life is going to be about entertainment, not about education. So the younger generations are going to be worried about the bullshit entertainment more than school. And it's going to suffer in a lot of areas. That's why, Chad, a lot of people go through financial situations and health situations. Because all that negative entertainment, it affects every area of your life. The negative entertainment, Chad, too much of negative entertainment. Some people are addicted to the negative entertainment. So many people are addicted to the negative entertainment that it affects every area of their life. And the worst thing about all these things that I'm talking about is that when people suffer for all these things, and then you can't tell them nothing. If you suffer from all these things and can't nobody tell you nothing, you think your shit don't stink? You got to drink every day. You're addicted to the fancy clothes. You got to smoke cigarettes every day. You got to smoke vapes. You thirsty behind women. You're addicted to the negative social media that goes on. And then add on to that, can't nobody tell you nothing? That's the worst part of all this shit. All these things that I'm talking about. And you hard-headed, like my grandpa used to say, it's called hard-headed. If you suffer, which a lot of people that I'm noticing in 2026 and beyond, they suffer from all these things, but the worst thing about it is they hard-headed. Can't nobody tell them nothing. And guess what? It's more people in that circle than ever before. Not only do they suffer from, they got to have all the designer clothes. They're addicted to liquor. They're addicted to vapes. They're addicted to cigarettes. They're addicted to drugs. They're addicted, and they addicted to the club. They're addicted to tricking off on women. They thirsty behind these hoes. Not only that, And they're addicted to negative social media and calling it entertainment. Not only that, but you can't tell them nothing, which is the worst of them all. You can't tell them shit. If you are addicted to designer clothes, if you are addicted to alcohol, if you are addicted to cigarettes, addicted to drugs, you thirsty behind women, you got to trick off with the hoes. You addicted to negative social media that come across your timeline every day, all day. Guess what? And the most powerful thing ever, can't nobody tell you nothing. You hard-headed. It's damn near impossible. And then you go through all these problems with the fact that can't nobody tell you nothing. You hard-headed. And you like that year after year, decade after decade. Guess what's going to happen? Once you turn 40, once you turn 50, and you start having health problems, financial problems, relationship problems, your kids don't want to fuck with you. Your kids start having those same problems because guess what? All this stuff that I'm talking about, it transfers down to the kids, which is more important than anything. You got all these problems. You ain't got no discipline. Can't nobody tell you shit. You raise your kids like that. Next thing you know, when your kids get 10, 11, 12, 13, they listening to the rap music. They looking up to the rappers. They looking up to King Von. They looking up to Lil Durk. They looking up to these social media people that are already lost in the sauce. Why, Stock Sniper? Because they get paid more money. They get more likes. They get more subscribers. They get more comments by pushing out all this shit that I'm talking about all the time on this channel. And guess what? That's the other element. The other element is you really can't tell them nothing when they getting likes, subscribers, a lot of people in their chat, a lot of people cheering them on. They get a lot of record sales, which this social media shit is becoming like the rappers, right? The rappers we already know, they're gonna talk all this shit. They're gonna lead the kids in the wrong direction through the music. But all they care about is the money. All they care about is the record contract, the record deal. Guess what's happening? The content creators are becoming the same thing. Content creators don't care. Just like the rappers don't care. Just like they'll talk about selling dope, killing. Just like they'll do that. These content creators don't care. All they care about is the number. All they care about is how many people in the chat. All they care about is how many people commenting. All they care about is the YouTube check that's coming on the 21st. All they care about is the kick check. All they care about is the Rumble check. All they care about is the Instagram check. It's all a brain. It's all a brain programming. It's all it is. It's a brain programming. We got to understand that. They don't care about. And then guess what? You can't tell none of them nothing. Once they get the money, they think they got the power. Once they get the subscribers, once they get the likes, once they get the comments, they think that they got the power. and can't nobody tell them nothing. Can't nobody tell them nothing. They don't realize they're getting played like a puppet. They don't realize that until it's too late. Until it's too late. Some of them don't ever wake up, Chad. Some of them don't even think like that. Some of them even don't think the choices and how I'm living my life and what I'm doing in front of my kids. What am I doing in front of these youth, the youth? What am I doing on the internet? What am I saying in these rap labels, in these rap songs? Some of them don't even understand that this is chess, not checkers. A lot of them can't think their way out of a paper bag. Why, Stock Sniper? Because they're too drunk by all this shit and can't nobody tell them nothing. Can't nobody tell them nothing. That's why parents, if you feel what I'm talking about and you understand what I'm saying, you have to spend as much time as you can with your kids. You have to homeschool your kids. In 2026, you got to homeschool your kids. You have to raise your kids from a very early age not to be addicted to this phone, not to be addicted to the tablet, not to be addicted to the computer. It's only used for educational purposes. And you have to teach your kids that at an early age. You have to raise your kids. And guess what? If you are not doing that, and you are worried about what's going on social media, you worried about the things that don't even matter, you slipping. And then you wondering why your kids turn out a certain way. You worried why your kids don't listen to what you got to say. It's because you didn't raise them that. You didn't raise them like that from small. And you need more one-on-one hands-on with your kids now more than ever before. Why, Stock Sniper? I just explained it to you right now. I just explained it. All your attention should go on stack money, act broke, education, be entertained by education. If you want to be entertained by something, be entertained by education. Be entertained by your health. Make your health your entertainment. Make your education your entertainment. Make teaching your kids and grandkids the right things in life your entertainment. Make learning the stock market your entertainment. Make learning about investing your entertainment. Make education, in other words, your entertainment. Make learning about AI your entertainment. Make learning about how America's system work your entertainment. Make learning about politics your entertainment for a learning experience. The things that matter, make those things your entertainment. Be entertained by eating right. Be entertained by exercising. Be entertained by reading the books. Be entertained by teaching your kids at the dinner table. Be entertained by having family discussions at the dinner table. Be entertained by learning a new skill, upgrading your skill. Be entertained by your family plan. Be entertained by that. Yes, I like the Terminator. I like watching the Terminator. I like watching Nightmare on Elm Street. I like watching, movies. I like watching drama movies. But guess what? I'm not watching it every single day. I'm not consuming my life with that. That's the thing about this internet and about this phone. It consumes our mind with bullshit. And once you look at it all the time, you laugh and giggle. I'm going to tell a story. On this internet, we got a guy that's married with a family. Another guy on the internet. A lot of y'all that, probably watch this, probably getting what I'm going. Another guy on the internet wants to try to humiliate this man so much that he bring his wife into it. Not understanding that this man know his household. It's called equally yoked, right? But this guy want to make it so much of entertainment that he tries to negatively humiliate a black man that's married to a black woman. Think about that for a second. You got a dude on this internet that's so lame to the fact because he got a certain amount of subscribers, a certain amount of people chatting, and everybody doing this and laughing. Think about that for a second. He's actually trying to paint a narrative that this man, who ain't never did nothing wrong to him, but support his channel, is going to want to try to sit back and make it seem like, as a joke, as entertainment, that this man is abusing his wife. Think about that for a second, chat. That's how wicked this shit is. You got a dude on the internet that got a YouTube channel, that got followers, that got subscribers, that got people giggling and laughing, thinking it's funny, that he's actually lying and trying to entertain the crowd, saying that a man is abusing his wife. And everybody in the chat is laughing. People think the shit funny. You got people my age thinking that stuff is funny. Anything is it. What that taught me, chat, is that these dudes are so green and so lame that they think any and everything is entertainment. And it's all because certain people in the chat look up to the subscribers and the viewers and the comments so much that they don't even understand what's going on. They think that a content creator that has a lot of followers and a lot of subscribers and a lot of people that's watching the chat, cracking jokes, spitting it like a man is beating his wife as a joke. And if anybody comment and say, bro, you wrong for saying that, bro. For sitting there saying, you don't even know this man. You don't even know his wife. For sitting there and saying on the internet that this man is beating his wife for jokes and clicks and views and subscribers, for you to say that, that's wrong. If somebody would have came in that chat and said that, guess what would have happened? They'd have got blocked. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Logically thinking. Somebody supposed to came in there and said, bro, you out of line. That man ain't never disrespected you. That man don't go back and forth with y'all like y'all do. That man don't do nothing but come in this chat and say, what's up, bro? His wife, they watch y'all like it's Netflix. He already told you that. And all they do is say, hey, how you doing? And for you to try to spin it to a certain way for entertainment That's the world we live in, chat. That's the world we live in right now. But then the sad thing about it is that 9 times out of 10, chat, most of them people that are like that, they lack in other areas. It's either their finances, it's either a relationship with their kids, or a relationship with women. And relationship with God, which is more important. They lack a relationship with God. They lack a relationship with their kids. They lack a relationship with their finances. They lack a relationship with their health. But they so blinded and can't nobody tell them nothing, which is one of the main parts of what I'm saying. Can't nobody tell you nothing. And if they do, either you're going to block them or you ain't trying to hear it. Sad, sad situation. And guess what, Chad? The saddest thing about this is that more and more people are getting in that type of mindset. More and more people are getting in that type of mindset. And what's another thing that's bad about those same people don't have the discipline to do the things that I'm talking about right now. They don't have the discipline to not worry about designer clothes. They don't have the discipline to stop drinking. They don't have the discipline to stop smoking. They don't have the discipline to stop smoking vapes. They don't have the discipline to stop taking drugs. They don't have the discipline to stop being thirsty behind women. They don't have that type of discipline. And it's all because can't nobody tell them nothing. That's one of the worst positions you could be in, Chad, where you got, and I'm going to make it 2 different examples. You got the money. You got the investments. You secure in life. But can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing because you are so drowned by the stocks, the investments, and the success that somebody can tell you something that's relatively right, and because you're so drunk, you don't even want to listen. The other scenario is that you got followers, which this is becoming more worse than the first example. But you got so many followers. You got 10,000 subscribers. You got 20,000 subscribers. You got 1 million subscribers. You got 300 people in your live. You got a whole bunch of people cheering you on, even though they know it ain't right. And can't nobody tell you nothing. That's one of the worst positions to be in, Chad. To be successful and whatever success looks like to you, because everybody's success looks different. Some people's success is having $10,000 in the bank account. Everybody's success looks different. So you got success to whatever success looks like to you, but then can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Unless it aligns with your way of thinking, which 8 times out of 10, that line of thinking is not going to be the right way you're supposed to be thinking. It's going to be all negativity. It's going to be all bullshit and bubblegum. So long as I agree with the bullshit and bubblegum, it's all good. But once I come around and say, well, hey, This ain't right. This is that. This is that. This is that. See, one of the best characteristics we can have, Chad, is the ability to listen, to be able to learn. One of the best qualities you can ever get in life is the ability to soak up information and process it. Not reject it, but process it. And if it don't apply, let it fly. That's one of the worst things. Right there. That can block any kind of success in your life. Not only your success, but your kids' success. Because if you're a parent that can't nobody tell you nothing, guess what's going to happen? 8 times out of 10, your kids are going to be the same exact way. You be wondering why your kids are turning out a certain type of way. And then you let it go. You know you don't agree with your kid moving like this, but ain't nothing you can do about it. But why? Because you can't tell them nothing. Because you have programmed them by your actions. Because guess what, Chad? As parents, our kids are watching our actions. If you're a type of person that can't nobody tell you nothing, if you're a type of person that ain't got no discipline about nothing, if you're a type of person don't hold yourself accountable for nothing in life, guess what's going to happen? Take it from the OG. Your kids are going to be 8 times out of 10. Your kids are going to be the same way or the direct opposite. But that percentage is very, very slim. How many kids we know in the black community that grew up around drugs, that grew up around prostitution, that grew up around crime? The household is a criminal organization. How many of those kids do the opposite per capita? How many of those kids do the opposite? Out of 10 families that are raised around crackhead mamas, crackhead daddies, drug selling mamas, drug selling daddies, around criminal activity from the family, out of 10 families, what percentage you think of those families, of those kids, are going to say, well, you know what? I don't want to be like mama and daddy. I'm going to be the direct opposite. Out of 10 families, 8 of those kids, their kids are going to be the same way. 2 of them are going to say, you know what? I'm going to be the direct opposite on how I was raised. The rest of them, majority of them, 8 out of 10 of them, are going to act worse than how they was raised. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to go down from generation to generation to generation to generation. Now you got kids talking back to their mamas and daddies and those type of things. And the parents can't tell the kids nothing. Why, Stock Sniper? Because the kids are being raised a certain type of way where they gonna tell their mama and daddy, well, hey mama, hey daddy, you doing this, you doing that. How can you tell me about what I'm doing when you doing this and you doing that? No discipline. No guidance. None of that. Sad situation. How long I been live? Not long. Go Trump. See, a lot of people try to talk negative about Trump, but not trying to understand how America is ran, bro. How America is ran. The system of America is ran in a certain type of way. America is ran a certain type of way. What side of the fence are you going to be on? That's the big question. What side of the fence do you want your kids and grandkids to be on? What are you going to build to put your kids and grandkids in a better position? Because guess what I know? I don't give a damn who the president is. Whoever the president is shouldn't have no effect on your financial and your health situation. No effect. You control. See, that's the thing about America. This is the freedom of speech challenge. You have the freedom to make your own choices. What choices do you want to make? What disciplines are you going to have? Are you going to have the disciplines that I've been talking about this whole life that could put you and your family in a position to win? Do you want to live up to the American dream? Do you want to live the American dream? Not the American nightmare. Because guess what? If you're not stacking money, acting broke, if you spending all your money on designer clothes, if you drinking liquor all the time, if you smoking vapes every day, if you smoking cigarettes every day, if you popping pills and taking drugs every day, if you tricking off your money on hoes every single day, if can't nobody tell you nothing, you're not living the American dream. You're living the American nightmare. And you ain't looking for a handout. A lot of people wondering what damn, what the president gonna do for me? What the president gonna do for us? Always looking for a handout. No people from overseas, they come over here and they get into it. With all these exits that I exit out, without all that. They stacking money, they acting broke. Living the American dream. Stack money, act broke. Don't have none of these habits. Have an open mind. Don't be so entertained by negativity and bullshit. Be entertained by education. Educating yourself. Educating your kids. Educating your grandkids. Most people don't even do this. Most people in America are not having family discussions at the table on what the family plan is. Nobody's having those discussions, chat, about your family plan. Where we want to be next year, physically and financially, where we want to be. Nobody's getting educated about investments. Nobody's talking about investments with a 6-7-year-old kid. Nobody's handing a 10-year-old kid an investment book, Think and Grow Rich. A great book, by the way. I challenge everybody on this live. Go read Think and Grow Rich. And don't look to be entertained, because it's a boring book. That's what they want us at. They want us. I don't want to be bored. Reading is boring. Watching the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, a great movie, that's boring. Reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, That's boring. Listening to an audio book. Think and Grow Rich. Reading the audio book off Audible. Make a proper investment and get Audible. And spend your day listening to Audible. Think and Grow Rich. The Power of Ambition by Jim Rohn. Oh, that's boring, Stock Sniper. That's boring. I can't, no. That's boring, Stock Sniper. That's a boring book. See, they got us programmed. We want to be entertained by excitement, bullshit, instead of listening to a book that could program your subconscious mind. Money Mastering the Game. Go download that book, Money Mastering the Game, and listen to the book over and over and over again. Instead of watching Charleston White every time he go live. Instead of watching Adam 22 every time he go live. Instead of watching Vlad TV every time he go live. Instead of listening to NBA Youngboy every single day. Listen to As a Man Thinketh, so is he every single day, and program your mind. Go out and exercise and walk and listen to Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich ain't about money. It's about the way you think. As a man thinketh, so is he. How you think, how you move. So many people are worried about bullshit and bubble gum. It's getting worse. Why, Stock Sniper? Because they're trying to train our mind. Oh, reading, that's boring. Think and Grow Rich, that's boring. Money Mastering the Game, oh, that book, oh, that's boring, bro. That book is too thick and boring. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, oh, bro, that's boring. Reading the 48 Laws of Power, bro, that's boring. That's boring, Stock Sniper. I can listen to it. Jim Rohn, The Power of Ambition. That's boring, bro. I don't want to listen to, oh, hell no. I don't want to listen to Jim Rohn. It's boring. It's boring. That's boring, Stock Sniper. That's too boring, bro. Charleston White just went live. I want to hear his bullshit. My favorite YouTuber, my favorite streamer just went live. And he on his bullshit. I got to go listen to that. I don't want to listen to Think and Grow Rich. Oh, nah, I'm done listening to that. I don't want to listen to a power of ambition. Most people lack ambition. And guess what, chat? More and more people, as time goes, more and more people are losing ambition. They're not motivated to do a goddamn thing. You got to have ambition in life. A lot of people ain't got ambition, bro. And it's getting worse and worse. That's why I got to keep talking about it. Because we got to push out. You got to have ambition. You got to have a backbone. You got to have goals. You got to have a plan. And guess what? If they not down with the plan, everybody can't go. Everybody cannot go. And sometimes it be like that. Sometimes you got a plan, bro, and somebody ain't agree, and somebody don't have the same plan. Sometimes they don't have the same plan, bro. Sometimes it be like that. And you have to be mature enough. Once you understand that your circle don't have the same plan as you, soon as you get that, you got to make a very, very, very important decision. A very, very mature decision to move around. And sometimes that be tough, because a lot of times you be connected to people. So that's tough. But that's when maturity comes in. That's when maturity comes in. You got to realize, man, I've wasted my time, my energy, and guess what? And it'll take time. But then once you see, hey, man, I'm turning out better like this here. So we got to realize those things, Chad. We got to realize that. Just like smoking cigarettes or drinking liquor. Some people got to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes every single day. You got to make a conscious decision in your mind that that's not right for you. You got to be mature. You got to have a level of maturity and be like, this shit, nah, hell no. I got to stop smoking these cigarettes every single day. I'm spending $20 a day on the cigarettes. That's $600 a month. I'm spending $20 a day on, I got to buy 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I got to buy a bottle of Henny. That's another $20. I'm spending $40 every single day. And once you start adding up the numbers and you start thinking long term and you put the numbers together and actually put it on paper and realize what's going on, then you come to grips with life. Oh, hold up, bro. Hold up. But the faster you catch your snap, the faster you realize, the faster you can recover. You don't want to go 10, 15, you don't want to go 20 years, Chad. And you buying cigarettes every day, and you buying liquor every single day, you add that up. 40 multiplied by 7, 40 multiplied by 30, 40 multiplied by 365. Some people consistently, as I talk about consistency, you can be consistent about the wrong shit. Some people consistently buy 2 packs of cigarettes every single day. Some people consistently buy liquor every single day. Some people consistently spend their money on drugs every single day. $40 a day, $20 a day, and you multiply that by 365 days. Some people, to get out of bad financial situations, Chad, all they got to do is stop smoking cigarettes. It's a $10 a day habit. That's roughly $7,000 a month. Some people can stop smoking cigarettes and literally put $7,000 a year and make their financial situation even better. Some people can stop smoking cigarettes, Chad, and stop going to the corner store every single day and be able to afford housing. Yes. Some people, because of these habits, will say fuck housing, long as they can get their cigarettes every day, long as they can get their liquor every day, long as they can get their vapes every single day. A lot of people are doing that, Chad. More people are sacrificing housing for habits. Let me say that again. More people are sacrificing housing, but won't sacrifice their habits. Long as they can go to Jack in the Box every day. Long as they can go to the corner store every day. Long as they can buy their cigarettes every day. Long as they can buy their vapes every day. Long as they can buy their weed every day. Long as they can buy their hair on every day. They will sacrifice that. They will sacrifice a roof over their head. I ain't worried about that. I need my cigarettes every day. I need my weed every day. I need my vapes every single day. There's people that's doing that in real life. There's also people that's sacrificing it, you know, because they got an end goal, but it's very, very few. It's very few people, chat, in this world in 2026 that are stacking money, acting broke with a purpose. Let me say that again. It's very few people in 2026 that's stacking money, acting broke with a long-term positive purpose. There's people that are acting broke to supply their habits, that are sacrifice livelihood for a habit. Why do you think so many crackheads that get checks every month that can afford to rent an apartment, but they will be homeless and live up under the bridge so they can smoke crack every day? How many people do you know that get a Social Security check, that get a disability check, that can afford housing with their disability and their Social Security check, but they choose not to? Why, Stock Sniper? Because they got a drug habit. It's a lot of people like that, Chad. That's nothing new. It's people under the bridge right now that get a check every single month that would rather live up under that bridge long as they can smoke their crack every day, long as they can shoot their hair on every day, long as they can do their crystal meth every day, long as they can pop their Percocets, aka fentanyl pills, every single day. It's either people in 2026 that would do that behind their weed. They rather sacrifice their way of living to smoke weed. So a lot of people that do that, chat. And there's more people doing that now more than ever. People been living like that though. They get $2,000 a month. Get a military check. Get a disability. You get, not only do you get a military check, but you get a disability check. You know what I'm saying? Which most military checks are $3,000 a month. Then you turn around and get a disability check because you got disabled in the military. So you get that $3,000 a month for being a veteran, plus the disability check, which is another $1,500. You get $3,500 a month, but rather spend it all on dope rather than to put a roof over your head. It's a lot of people that's like that, Chad. It's all about decisions. It's all about decisions and consistency and being able to listen. Be able to listen and block out all these habits. Not being able to listen, can't nobody tell you nothing. That's a bad habit as well, Chad. That's a bad habit as well. Oh, bro, the UFC on. Mm-hmm. So, Chad, I done rambled enough. You know, I done rambled enough. A lot of people came in and a lot of people left, which is cool. I struck a lot of people's nerves. But if you stayed in here, if you the one person, I'm talking to you. See me, I'm not the type of streamer that have to have a lot of people. As long as one person listening, one person, that's all it takes, Chad. And that's all I care about. Long as one person is listening, you ain't commenting or nothing, you listening. And that's one of the best skills you can have is being a good listener. Being a good listener. If it don't apply, let it fly. But guess what? If it don't apply to you, it applies to somebody you know, and you must share the video. Because we got to get this shit together, chat. This stacking money, acting broke is a lifestyle. Let me say that again. Stacking money, acting broke is a lifestyle. And it can change your life quickly. I know a lot of people say, Stock Sniper, I ain't never had $6,000 saved up. You got a job? Yeah. But that lets me know you're not disciplined. You're not stacking money, acting broke. Be disciplined, stack money, act broke for 6 months. And you will have that 6,000. Even if you have to downsize. Well, Stock Sniper, I make $2,000 a month and my rent is $1,500. You need to move. You need to sacrifice some things, but stay disciplined. Don't sacrifice for a habit, sacrifice for a purpose. Let me say that again. Don't sacrifice your living arrangements for a habit, sacrifice for purpose. Don't sacrifice for no habit. Most people are sacrificing for a habit, not for a purpose. I make $2,000 a month, Stock Sniper. My rent is $1,500. You need to get that all the way down. Sacrifice for a purpose. Don't sacrifice for no habit. Sacrifice for a purpose. Don't sacrifice for a habit. Get that in your mind and in your subconscious mind. Have a level of maturity. Sacrifice for purpose. It's a reason why I'm sacrificing. And have a plan and make that plan long term. I'm sacrificing for 6 months. I'm sacrificing for a year. I'm sacrificing for 5 years. I'm sacrificing for a decade. And see where it takes you. Sacrifice for purpose, not for a habit. That's going to be the name of the next live chat. Sacrifice for purpose, not for a habit. Sometimes we got to make sacrifices in life. Sometimes people won't sacrifice. See, people won't understand your sacrifice. You got to, like I say on the channel all the time, spend less, act broke. Spend less. Spend as less as possible. Purpose. Sacrifice for a purpose, not for a habit. Let me say that again. Sacrifice for purpose, not for a habit. You got to understand that. Sacrifice for purpose, not for a smoking habit, not for a liquor habit, not for a drug habit, not for a tricking with these women habit. Sacrifice for a purpose in life. Sacrifice for a purpose. And then educate yourself on investing. Sacrifice for a purpose. And then educate yourself on a skill and investing. If you already got a skill, sacrifice for a purpose and learn investing. But the first thing you got to learn is how to stack money and act broke. Sacrifice for a purpose. You got to learn how to sacrifice. Before you learn how to invest a dollar, you have to learn how to save. You got to learn how to stack money and act broke. For real. Stack money, act broke. Learn that habit first. Build up that nest egg. Meantime, educate yourself about investing. Educate yourself about how money works. Educate yourself on how the American economy works. Educate yourself on how the American system works. And then educate yourself on how the world system works. Educate yourself. Consume as much education as you can. Learn. Spend less time on being entertained and more on education. Be entertained by the education. Be entertained by reading the books. Being entertained by watching positive movies. The Pursuit of Happiness. A great movie. You got to feed your mind and your subconscious mind. It's called changing the way you think. And how you change the way you think is what you consume, who you hang around, what you listen to. It's how you change the way you think. And when you change the way you think, it becomes a reality. Then you bring it to life. Stop being so anxious. Work on your anxiety. Work on being patient. Don't rush to nothing. Be patient and take it one day at a time. And love what you do. Because when you love what you do, patience is going to come with it. That's a tip. Love what you're doing. Then you won't be anxious. Because when you love what you do, time passes. Work is not work. Putting the work in is not putting the work in. Why, Stock Sniper? Because you love what you do. If you love teaching, if you love helping people, get more information to teach the people, to try to help the people out. And you're not going to be anxious. You're not going to be impatient. You're not going to be rushing. Why? Because you love what you do. You're not worried about the time. It takes time to shine. That's why they ask behind. You ain't worried about the time. Why? Because you love what you're doing. Which is the key. Everything else come on the back end. Everything else comes on the back end. So much time, people worrying about right now, worrying about money right now. You have to build. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And we got to understand that. Got to understand that, Chad. Got to understand that. Once you understand that, and you put the work in, and you got motion behind it. Motion is the work. That's what motion is. Motion is not a dollar amount. Motion is not a lifestyle. Motion is the work. putting one foot in front of the other, that's motion. Motion is putting the work in. Like I go out there, and as an example, I go out there and run 3 miles a day and walk another mile and a quarter. That's motion. Consistently maneuvering, being active every single day. At least 5 days out of the week. And stacking money and acting broke. You get paid, I'm broke. Have a set limit on how much you're going to spend. After that, I'm broke. I ain't got no more money. And see how they work for you. Time going to pass anyway. As long as God keep waking you up, and God wake you up for 10 years straight, and you got that type of mindset. And you do that for 10 years. You make $2,000 a month. You like working at Jack in the Box. You like working at McDonald's. You like the quarter pounder with cheese. You love flipping burgers. Of course, you probably going in 10 years, you should get some type of raise or some kind of promotion. You work at McDonald's. And you do that for 10 years straight as a small example. $2,000 a month. And you put back $1,500 a year. 18,000. You do that for 10 years. 18 multiplied by 10. That's 180,000. That ain't even got nothing to do. That's not even counting investments. That's straight savings. And you do that for 10 years straight. Being disciplined. It's boring, right? Not worried about, what are you worried about? What are you concerned about more? Being entertained or your financial future? Your kids' financial future? Something might happen to your spouse. Anything. A health scare. And you might have to stay there with them until they get through whatever they're going through. They might not ever get through with it. But you got to be financially stable and mentally stable to be able to do what you got to do. Because you never know what might happen. But you got to stay ready, keep from getting ready. So I'm going to end it right here, chat. I've been live probably 2 hours now. The message is stack money, act broke. Don't be so consumed with entertainment. Some people are entertained by liquor. Some people are entertained by drugs every day. Some people, cigarettes are their entertainment. Some people tricking off with women are their entertainment. But make sure you have an open mind, that you open to constructive criticism, positive constructive criticism, and you're able to listen. Have an open mind. You know what, people can tell you something and you can learn and grow. Don't wait till you're my age and you start playing, you behind the 8 ball. You 40 and 50 years old and you behind the 8 ball. Don't be the type of person that's 40, 50 years old and never had $20,000 in a bank account. Don't be the person you turn 40, 50 years old and you never had $20,000 in investments. Think about that for a second. If you young, 25 years from now, you've never seen $20,000 in the bank account. You've never seen $20,000 in investments. I know people in real life that have never seen $20,000 in nothing. Think about that for a second. You being 50 years old and you ain't never had $20,000 in nothing. No emergency fund, no investment, no nothing. And it's because of habits. It's because of how you lived your 25 years. What you did for 25 years. What you did the last 15 years. What you did the last 10 years. That's something that everybody needs to think about. America don't have an income problem. We have a habit, a negative habit problem. So with that being said, Chad, I'm ending right here. I might end this and come back and we kick it and watch the UFC, or I might not come back at all. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I hope somebody learned something. If this message touched you, please share the video. I'd rather you share this video to somebody you love than anything else. Let me do all the talking. Share the video to somebody you love. That's what I need y'all to do. Do me a huge favor. If you've been watching this and you've been here majority of the time, share this video to somebody you know. Maybe it can help them. And by you sharing the video, you could probably help somebody. And which that is a great thing. Each one teach one, help one. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. Earn, spend less, and make proper investments. And yes, your mindset, your health, and your education, and being able to accept positive criticism is an investment. With that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all, chat. To the next one. I'm out.